Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how that you can use the Canvas Commons and the group setup within Canvas Commons to be able to share content and materials in between your grade level teams. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we'll do is we'll go out to the Canvas Commons. So if you go to the global navigation bar, you're going to head down to Commons, and let's go ahead and select our Commons. And once we're out here, there's a couple of different things that become important. So first of all, you'll notice there's over 152,000 resources in Commons. So if you haven't spent time going through Commons, I would strongly suggest you do this. But for our purposes, what we're going to do is go over to Filter. And once we're in Filter, you can look through and you can find resources that have been pinned specifically to your content area. So you can choose different things through here and hone down your search a little bit. If you continue to scroll down, you could look and see what resources there are that have been posted and published through just our school district. And then also you will notice that there are groups down here. And so if you want to have a special group created, you will need to reach out to me and I can create those groups for you. In this case, we're going to look at the kindergarten group. So once I click on kindergarten, this will bring up the kindergarten group, and these are resources that are shared within this specific group. So when I set up the groups, I set them up with the people who would like to be a part of that group, and only those people have access to this content and material. And that makes it a little bit easier to be able to share within a small group. So that's what this is going to look like on this side. Is once you start getting content in here, it will show up in here, and then you should see only kindergarten content that is filtered within your group. So let's talk about how you can use this and how you can share content. So once you come out here and you find something that you like, that you want to share, or that you want to add into your class, you can go ahead and click on this. Take a look at it so you can preview it, and you can see what this one's about. In this case, this particular resource is Read Alouds that I copied from somebody else on the Commons of different books on math. So on the right-hand side, if this is something you like, what you can do is you can go ahead and click on the import and download. And you're going to search for your course. So I'm going to add this to the course where I already have it, but I'm going to add it again. So I'm going to start. I have a course called Using the Commons, and that's where I want this to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now, let me give you a word of caution here. Be really careful that you click only on the course that you're looking for, because once it imports this in, you can't easily go back and undo what you've done here. You'll have to go in and hand delete everything. So if you accidentally import it into all of your classes, it will get imported into all of them. So we're going to go ahead and click on, I want it to go to this course, and then I'm going to click import into course. And now it has started to import that. Now when I head back to my dashboard, and I'm going to go ahead and open up that course. And this came across, I didn't mention to look for what kind of content it was. This is a page. We'll go back to that. So I know this particular content was a page. Now notice I had already imported it once as a trial to make sure that I knew the exact process. And then I imported it again. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now this resource is part of my class. So it's really easy to get that content from one place to the other. Now let's talk about what do you do if you have some content that you want to share out with the rest of the members of your group. So what we're going to do is click on that. So I'm going to go ahead, let's just go back to the main pages here. And these three little dots on the right, this gives me a lot of information and things that I can, and tells me how I can use this particular content. One of those features is share to the Commons. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now I'm going to share this to the Commons. I'll share it right back out again. Now, some of this becomes really important. So this is information that the user on the other end is going to want. So sharing and licenses, is this an update to a previously shared resource? If it is, you would click that and then it would only update the old one. Since I'm going to import this again, it's going to make another copy of it. Who can use this resource? Only me, all of Monroe School District, or select groups. In this case, we are going to click on select group, and then these are the groups that are available. On your end, you might see only the groups that you're a part of. The reason why you're seeing others from me is because of my admin role. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the kindergarten group because that's the group I want to share it to. And that's all I want. Just share it to kindergarten. If you want to share it out to make it public on the Canvas Commons for anybody who's part of Canvas to use, you can click that one as well. And it will now make it public to both of those groups. And shared as, I wouldn't worry too much about any of this. Featured content brings it to the top of the list. And so if you click on that one, that will move it so it's at the top of anything that anybody's looking for. And then content type, if this is a template or textbook, those kind of things, I wouldn't worry too much. Anytime you see the little red star, you do have to add that information. So let's make it public. And then your title. So there's already a title in here. I can change this to whatever I want to change it to. Now, if you're sharing this with a common group, I would strongly suggest that as a group, you guys come up with a good title, a good naming convention. Maybe you want to start off with math first, and then, or reading, or SEL, or whatever it is, the content that you're adding, start that first, and then have a really good naming convention. If you're sharing content on specific lesson units, make sure you have the unit number and the lesson number, those kind of things. So naming conventions can be really helpful if you're looking for specific content within a shared commons area. Okay, and then the description. So you do need to add a description in here. Again, I think that this really just helps for people when they're searching for information to know what it is. Now, because when we're creating this group, let's go with this group of kindergarten, for example, you have reading, you have math, you have SEL, you have writing, you probably have phonics. So you have a lot of different lessons in here. And so there's going to get to be a lot of shared resources available. It's going to be really important that you add a tag to this. This is going to help so that when you go to search for something like math, then it's going to pull all the math ones to the top based on how it is tagged within here. So be really cognizant of adding tags in here that make it really searchable for people on the Canvas Commons. And I'm also going to put kindergarten on here in case I was putting this out there to the greater group. So any kind of tag that fits the situation, if you're doing, in this case, maybe it's because they are children's books, I might put, maybe I would put read alouds or reads or something. So just anything that helps to better identify it, making it easier to sort through those resources. You do have to have an image. So if you click here, it takes whatever those tags were that you put on there, adds those tags into here. And so then you can find something that works with, since this is like a book resource, we'll go with something like this. And then you just go ahead and click on that, and then it will add that in there. And then you toggle around what grade levels. I would say this is probably suitable for a K1. And once I have that information in there, then I'm going to go ahead and click share. And it will take a minute or two for it to find its way into your Commons group, but it will get there. And so now I'm done with that. If I want to go back and double check it, I can go ahead and click back here on this Commons. I can look at my filter. Sometimes resetting it this way helps, because if you just go back, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a minute or two for it to show up, but if I were to come back here, it would show back up again here in the Commons. So that is how I would share information into the Commons, and then I showed you how I would take something from the Commons and share it out to my class. And so that is making sure that you're putting the correct tags on there and that you have good naming conventions within the members of your team in this shared group. Then you'll be able to look for different resources. Once you start getting a whole bunch of resources in here, this is where those tags become really helpful. So now if you're looking for just math, you can, oh, and there it shows up now. You can click on just math. If you're looking for reading lessons, you can click on reading lessons, and then it will pop those automatically to the top of your search. So that's where that naming convention, again, becomes really important. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you was looking at the resource. So before you import this into your class, really make sure that you know what the resource type was. In this case, this was a page. That's why when I went back into my class, I knew to go down and look under a page. But if I go back into the Commons, and let's look for kindergarten, it's going to pull up all of these kindergarten resources that are out there by that tag. And this is how people have tagged this, again, making that really important. But now if you look at the resource, here's a page. This is a full course. And this is a module. So just knowing the type of information that's out there. So if I wanted to go take a look at this module, I could click on it. And this is out in the shared commons. I could click on it and I'd be able to get a preview. Anyway, it's taking too much time. So, but that is how you use your shared group within the commons. So I hope that was helpful, and I really hope that you have a really good success collaborating together across schools with this tool. Thanks so much, and you just have a great day.